Welcome to the channel. Today I will be playing against Stockfish. However, I will be starting with a significant advantage in development. You can see all my pieces are out. I have two rooks and my queen pointing right at Stockfish's king. Let's see if I can win. So my strategy is to start with these strong central pawns and see if I can push them and create some problems for black. I have to get an advantage quick though, because Stockfish will stabilize the position if I don't. I also am curious how Stockfish is going to approach the position. So starting off with pushing the pawn, obviously Stockfish is in trouble, so maybe they're just going to start trading. And I'm going to take back because I generally think trades are going to be good for me in this challenge. Now, Stockfish is going to take back, which is interesting because it is opening up the file to their queen. So I think I may take advantage of that and put my rook on d2. So Stockfish blocks, and I think I'm just going to keep loading up pressure. Interesting that they allowed this, honestly, but Stockfish knows best, so it must be the best move. Okay, now Stockfish is starting to counterattack a bit, but I think I want to push that bishop away and just get rid of that issue right away. Okay, so Stockfish goes for the trade. With my advantage in development, I think that's reasonable just to go for that trade. Okay, knight comes in. I don't think it's threatening anything, so I'll just keep on moving my bishop, and I can prevent Stockfish from castling by bringing my bishop to that square, and Stockfish immediately says no, kicks my bishop away, so I have to retreat. Okay, so now Stockfish brings the queen in, threatening my a3 pawn, so I may want to guard it, but I think I'll actually just try to trade off the knight, because Stockfish's queen is kind of tied down to that bishop. So if it takes the pawn, I can just take the bishop. So kind of an indirect protection right there. Okay, interesting. I think I can just capture and trade a rook for a knight and a bishop. I really like that trade because then now I have the bishop pair. And I think I can just keep trading off pieces. I can't take the queen because of the back rank, but I'll just trade the rook off. But trade off the piece, move my queen out of the way, protect the a3 pawn. And I really need to focus on stabilizing the position. Okay, so black pushes. I think I'll just push my pawn past. I want to keep my pawn structure strong so I don't have any weaknesses that Stockfish can attack. Okay, Stockfish immediately going for the back rank, so I'll have to defend that. And then I really need to bring my queen back into the game because otherwise Stockfish will try to slowly win pawns, and I really need to avoid that. So Stockfish centralizes the queen, obviously in a really powerful position. I'm kind of passive, but I like my position in the pieces I have. So if I just maneuver a little bit more, I think I'll be able to get myself in a better position. So guarding that pawn, bringing my queen into the game, I think is the best plan at this point. Stockfish moves the rook over, so I'm going to go for some trades because I think if I get the queens off the board, I'm winning this game. But I imagine, yeah, Stockfish is not going to want to go to trades. So now they're attacking my a3 pawn. But I think I can maybe just take their pawn, so it's an even trade. And I'm covering the back rank with my bishop as well, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. Okay, so Stockfish goes for this little fork. I think they'll probably take the pawn. Oh, or I guess not. Okay, trying to bring the rook into the game, so that's a little bit of a threat. Have to worry about that. But I think that if I just guard my pawns and keep everything stable, I should be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my queen in a little bit more, keep everything as stable as I possibly can. Stockfish takes a pawn, but I think that's okay. It's just so tough playing chess when every little mistake you make is immediately punished. So I'm going to have to figure out how to stabilize this position because Stockfish keeps attacking and like forking pawns, so I'll try to figure out how to stabilize it, but I'm losing a little bit of confidence here, not sure if I can pull out the victory. Giving up another pawn, and now that a pawn is being pushed, and I am losing confidence, but I'll try my best, see if I can win, and get some trades, see what happens, but I don't like my position. The fact that that just got traded off makes me think I can't stop that pawn. And yeah, that pawn is being pushed. Stockfish found a victory. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a win, so I might as well resign now that Stockfish has this advantage. I'm back. Decided to make the challenge way easier on myself by removing a bunch of pawns in Stockfish's center. if I can't win this game, I don't know what I should do. So it's just amazing at this point to even think Stockfish has a chance, because I still think it does, but I can just push my pawns right up to its king and start making threats. So we'll see if this works, but I don't see how I can lose this game. So I think just trading and pushing the pawn seems like a pretty simple plan here, and there's nothing really Stockfish can do to stop me. So I'll just trade off the bishop for the knight, and then I can even take the pawn on g7, so I'll just do that. And really in a perfect position right now, have a passed pawn with 3 pieces supporting it moving forward. So now I need to move my bishop out of the way, so I'll retreat to b2, and I think I just can push this pawn more. It's going to be really overpowering. Stockfish even offering a queen trade, so I think that I'll take it because I just have this super powerful pawn that likely cannot be stopped. So I'll keep pushing it and see what Stockfish is going to do here. So they're going to try to trade for it, but I'm going to add more defenders because this pawn is going to be my key to victory at this point. So Stockfish trying a little tactic here, but I can just push my pawn and avoid that issue entirely. So nothing really threatened there. Maybe they'll go bishop g4, but guess not. So they're bringing the rook in, threatening the c2 pawn. So I think I want to push that forward, just keep everything super stable and strong. So they're putting more pressure on my e7 pawn. So I think I need to bring my knight in to help with that defense. But this should be a fine position. So now threatening the back rank. But I can always just bring my rook back later because my rooks are connected, so not a big deal. So I think I'll just push my pawn and maybe bring another pawn into the attack. I also will make my king a little safer, I think, moving it to f2. I think everything's pretty stable though, so I don't have much to worry about. And just as I say that, Stockfish threatens mate in 1 with rook f1, so I have to be careful. So make sure I block that move from happening, and I guess I'll get a rook trade, so perfectly fine by me. I'm interested to see how Stockfish is going to approach this position because it's going to have to try to trick me. So I think I just try to go for trades at this point. Maybe bring the knight to the center, go for a trade there. And looks like we got the knight trade we wanted, so I'll just take the knight. Perfectly fine with that. And now I think I should bring my rook to the center to help support pushing more pawns. So I'm going to bring it to e5. And then, okay, I do have to worry about the rook coming on the a file, actually. That may have been a mistake. How am I going to get out of this? I guess I'll just move my bishop and hopefully nothing too bad happens. But that was definitely a mistake there, and I'm going to lose that a1 pawn. So I guess once that Stockfish takes, I'll just push my king up and start supporting the other pawns to try and push and cause some trouble for black. So I'll try to go for a trade of those pawns. I do have to be careful of the rook coming in, and the rook actually took another pawn. This is actually not going well. I'm a little concerned, but I still have that super strong e7 pawn. Now Stockfish trades the pawn. I'm going to take with the king, try to bring the king into the game. And now Stockfish is trading rooks, so I think I'm good with that. So I'll just trade rooks and then bring my king into the game, and hopefully I can come out with the victory. But now that I think about it, Stockfish has a light square bishop and I have a dark square bishop, and I'm a little worried that somehow this is not going to work out for me. I don't know if there's a winning idea here, actually. I think I'll try to keep pushing my pawns, but everything is on dark squares for my pawns and everything is on light squares for Stockfish's pawns. And he can just keep shuffling this bishop around. So actually I think Stockfish managed to pull out a draw, which is quite incredible. So yeah, I can keep trying, but at this point I think it's a draw. There's no use. So I'll give up here. Stockfish managed to pull out a draw. This is my last attempt. If I can't beat Stockfish in this position, I'm giving up. So let's see how I do. For the last time, I'm going to try pushing these pawns and see what happens. I don't see how Stockfish can win this, but hey, that's what I thought the last time. So Stockfish is going for trades here. It's so interesting when like you're up so much in development, even in material as well. And Stockfish just finds these ideas every time. But really, there's shouldn't be too much Stockfish can do here. I'm going to check the king, push the pawns, and that should overwhelm Stockfish. So I think I may just move my knight. Actually, no. Stick to the plan, push the pawns in the middle, and see what happens. Okay, another trade. Perfectly fine with the trade there. Don't know why Stockfish is even going for that trade, but apparently that bishop was just too powerful. Okay, so I can push this pawn, and now I should be winning that knight actually, because that knight can't move. So yeah, I'll win that knight, and now the queen is going to recapture that pawn. And again, this e-pawn should be too powerful, as it's just too far down. Okay, Stockfish is even just giving up the queen at this point. I think this is Stockfish delaying checkmate. It's not even trying to play for a win. It's just the engine's like, this is the way to delay checkmate because my advantage is just too much at this point. Okay, so don't blunder your queen. Let's move the queen back. And now I think I can bring my knights in, and that should really help the game. But first I should probably make sure I don't get back ranked checkmated. So I'm going to move that pawn up as a safety valve, make sure nothing happens, because if I lose this game, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so recapture with the rook. Let's just bring the queen into the game and start exerting some pressure. Stockfish is going to try to trick me, so I just need to be careful. Don't let anything stupid happen, and I should be winning this game. So the king is really open at this point, so the queen is going to be a really powerful piece where I can just maneuver and maybe even get a fork of some sort. So I'm threatening a fork now, the rook sidesteps it, but now I can actually trade off the bishop for the knight because the rook is pinned. So I'll do that trade. Now move my knight out of the way after the recapture. And I can even move it here because if it captures, I just get the fork again. So yeah, captures, get the fork, and I think we did it. Finally, only took like, what was it, 6 pawns and an immense development advantage for me to beat Stockfish. But it finally happens. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure I don't stalemate, but I should be good here. Quite the journey that we went on. Okay, waiting move and checkmate. Simple as that. See, Stockfish is easy to beat. No big deal. All right, thanks for watching, everyone.